Well, thanks for joining us this week for our Tech Time webinar. In this video discussion, we're going to talk about FlipGrid. And if you haven't used FlipGrid before, it's a great classroom tool. It's great for almost any subject that you do. And this may be a short one this time because this is a really simple tool to pick up. It's easy to use. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run you through how to access it, what kind of features you can use with it, and then we'll talk about some examples of how it can be used in your classroom. So to get to FlipGrid, you can actually, if you just go to flipgrid.com, you can find their website. It'll actually take you to this info page. When you're ready to get started, just hit the sign up for free button. I've already got an account, but I'm going to kind of walk you through this. They do not yet have linkage between Facebook or Google, so you do have to create an account with them. And like I said, I've already done that, and I just basically set one up with my school account, and I'll log into that really quick. They do have an interface with Microsoft, as you can see here, but you know, like I said, we're a Google school, so I have not done that with my Microsoft account. Basically, this is my dashboard. A free FlipGrid account. Up front, a free FlipGrid account has one grid, and you can get a paid version of FlipGrid that allows you as many grids as you want to, and that typically, I think it's about $65 a year if we look over here on the upgrade. Yeah. So FlipGrid 1, which is the free version, you get one grid but unlimited topics. So for me, doing what I do with professional development, one grid works for me because I can use as many topics as I want to and let as many people respond to that as I want. But for the classroom teacher, you may be just fine with the free account, but you might want to have a separate grid for each class, for each subject you teach, and in which case that would allow you to not worry about looking through too many responses from kids. So so once you're in and you go to your dashboard, basically the way this works is you can create a grid, and I've got one here that I've already set up, and like I said, with my free account, that's all you get. And then once your grid is ready to go, you can have unlimited topics inside your grid. Okay, my grid name is called FlipGrid for Classroom Instruction, and like I said, unlimited topics, so I've got 4 in here, but I can create as many as I want to. And once you create a topic, and I'll add a new topic right now, we'll call this one Getting to Know FlipGrid. You can give it a topic display date, and that just kind of helps you sort your topics and order them. The video response time, you can adjust how long they have to respond, and this is really good because if you want to limit kids and try to get them to be more creative by giving them less time, you can do so. You can go up to 5 minutes, but if you wanted them to, you know, challenge them and say, give me a 30-second review of a book that you just read, you could do that. But typically it's by default 90 seconds. Response moderation, that allows you to set it up so that you approve everything that comes in before it goes out on the grid. Now, as a teacher, I would recommend that, because if you've got students responding to a topic and you want to make sure that there's nothing offensive in their response, you want to moderate that before it goes out, you'll want to turn that on. Otherwise, everything that's sent in response automatically goes out. Now, if you've never seen FlipGrid, you're probably wondering what I'm talking about. So the way your grid works is you can put a question up there in the form of a video that you record, or just a question, and then people can respond to that just by going to your grid and then clicking the add button, and they can talk into their webcam and respond. And so, like I said, you may want to moderate those before they come in. You can also provide a topic description, so I'm just going to put the same thing back in here. And then, of course, there's some other features that you can add at the bottom as well. If you want to, you can freeze your topic so that nobody else can respond, or you can deactivate it. Otherwise, by default, once it's set up, it'll stay active unless you change that. Further down, on topic resources, you can also do some optional things like add a video from another resource. I typically, whenever I set mine up, I recorded a video. But if you wanted to get students to respond to a specific topic, maybe it's a video that you've prescribed from YouTube that you want them to watch and then reflect on, you can do that. Maybe you want to upload an image and they do free response about the image that they're looking at, what kind of thoughts that it elicits, especially if it's a cover to a novel or something like that. You can also add some other resources as you want them to, like emojis. And then you can also, this wasn't always a feature as well, you can also include an external link to the topic. And then down in response features, you can allow different things like students can respond with stickers and drawings. They can do emoji reactions and so on and so forth. So you want to make sure that you've got all your settings set up the way that you want them before you get started. Once you're ready, you just go ahead and click Create Topic. So once your topic is ready, you'll notice here I said earlier you have a grid code. I could use that grid code to jump straight into my topic, like I said before, if I was on the dashboard. And then, of course, here's the link to my grid, and here's the link to this specific topic. It'll jump straight to that topic. You can always get back to this screen or this information on your dashboard later, so you don't have to worry about bookmarking it or grabbing it right now. Once you hit Got It, it takes you into your topic. You'll see the breadcrumb trail at the top. I've got my grids, and then I've got the name for my grid, FlipGrid for classroom instruction, and then this is the topic I just created. Now, I'm not going to record a video for a topic right now. I'm just going to jump back to my grid and show you one of the previous ones that I had made. So this one was Google Docs tips and tricks, and I made this little video asking people, I gave them a tip and I said, what kind of tips do you have that you would share? So when you're ready to share your grid topic with people, you just click on Share Topic and you can grab your link. Something I want to point out too, though, is that if you're already using Google Classroom with your kids, you can immediately share your topic out to Google Classroom just by clicking. And if you're familiar with the Share to Classroom extension for Chrome, this has pretty much the same interface. You choose your class, and then you choose the action, and you can create an assignment from it or ask a question with it or just make an announcement. Since FlipGrid is the kind of thing where you're already asking a question, you might just want to use it as an announcement or an assignment. But here I'm just going to copy the link and go to a new tab. And this is what your students will see. When they get there, they'll see the video topic. And then when they're ready to respond, all they have to do is click this plus sign. And of course, the way this one was set up, they had 90 seconds to respond. And so each of these people that you see here, they took time to respond to the topic. And it's pretty simple to do. The great thing about this is you don't have to log in to respond to the topic as long as the owner of the grid and the topic has set it up so that it's available to anyone that goes to it. All you have to do is go there, and when you're ready to respond, you click the plus sign. Now, this works best when you're using this with students that are, say, for instance, in a one-to-one program and they're already using a Chromebook that has a webcam on it or some other device. But it also can be done from a phone because, phones have a camera on them, or an iPad. So pretty much any web-enabled device that has a webcam allows your users to respond. So I'm going to quickly click this and just kind of give you an idea of what it looks like. It's going to ask me for permission to use my camera, and then it immediately it's gonna pop up. It gives me a thumbnail of what I'm going to look like. When I'm ready, I just hit record. Gives you a 3 count, and then you've got, like I said, I set this up for 90 seconds, so they've got 90 seconds to respond. When they're done, they can hit the pause button. They can always come right back into it if they want to, if they need to take a break. they need to gather their thoughts. But when they're finished, they just hit the next button.
And then you've got, like I said, I set this up for 90 seconds.
And that was my response. And then the next thing, the third thing you have to do is snap a selfie. That's why some of my pictures look weird on my topics. So you would snap a selfie of yourself for the thumbnail of your video and then hit next. So now I required on my grid that people enter their name and their email address. So that's why it's asking for this information. And then I click submit my video, and that's it. That's how easy it is for kids to respond, or anybody to respond to your topic. So that's now been added. And also, in addition to creating your own grid and things like that, if you're new to FlipGrid and you don't know what to do, we'll talk about topics here in just a second, but go to the discovery section of FlipGrid and you can see the topic library, and maybe you just want to see what other high school teachers are doing, or you want to see what other history teachers are doing. You can take a look, click on the topic title, and then look around in some of those topics, see what other people are doing, give you some ideas for how you might use FlipGrid, and then go right into using it in your classroom. Even though it's a simple tool to use, it's a really robust tool for the classroom, especially in the age that we are in with one-to-one computing and everything. You can use this as a way for students to show understanding. Let's say that you're at the end of a unit and you've covered several different topics, and you want to just put a topic out there for your class, such as cell theory, and you want them to take 90 seconds and explain everything that they know about cell theory. Now, the one thing that I've had a lot of teachers say to me is this: if, let's say for instance, if Eric gets out there and he explains what he knows about the topic, and then Lisa gets on, she watches his and then memorizes what he said and then puts it out there, it's not really effective. So that's one of the reasons you might want to moderate responses before they come in and they're allowed to go out. You can just make it so that you have a time frame for the window to be open to respond, and you don't release any of them until the deadline is met, and then you can put them all out there. On the other side of the token, you could also say that by putting a different topic out there, such as what are your thoughts on a novel or analyzing a character, some kids may learn more by hearing the responses of the others, and then they can expand with their own opinion. One of the things that I love about the age that we're in right now is that in the past you had a lot of students that, and even today, you have a lot of students that will not respond audibly in class because they're just too shy, they're embarrassed, or they don't want to be singled out. With this medium, they can do this at their own comfort level, and even if they don't know, they may be able to learn from their fellow classmates by crowdsourcing in this style and in this fashion. So you can also hold debates. You could put a topic out there, and you could say Coke versus Pepsi or something like that, and tell us why you choose one or the other. And each video response could be a debate on why the student chose one topic over the other. Maybe it's reflection on the end of a chapter, or reflection at the end of the year, or tips for the teacher about how you might improve the class, or leaving notes for the next group of kids that come into that class, and anything that you want to as far as reflection. I know one teacher specifically at our high school, she used this for brainstorming term paper ideas. It created a situation where if you didn't want kids to duplicate topics that someone else is talking about, they could go through and they could say, okay, making sure no one has taken my topic before I release mine. They could review the topics first. Or maybe they're having a hard time coming up with a topic, and hearing everybody else would help them kind of, get them started. If you're kind of on the fence about the $65, give the free version out a try for a while, test it with your kids, and see how you like it. So that's my quick review and rundown on FlipGrid. I hope you like it. I hope you give it a try. Thanks for joining us.